Hi and welcome to Plus TV Africa. I'm Lakwe Banjo. Staying on fluid developments, as you already know, the Third Mainland Bridge was shut down for investigative maintenance on midnight of Thursday. Plus TV Africa is monitoring reports from the Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. And the reports reaching us indicate that there's also heavy traffic along Muratala Mohammed Way onto Yaba and Djibawu stretch. There's also heavy traffic from Djibawu to Ido as a result of the flooded portion, and high influx motorists are advised to use Herbert Macaulay to link Oyigbo via Adekunle. On Echo Bridge, though, there's relatively free flow of traffic. Alaka-bound vehicles from Ojuelegba are advised to use the service lane from Barracks to Stadium to link Ikbonri, Costain and Echo Bridge, respectively. Obstruction by 40 feet container along Oba-Akran by Dangote U-turn in Ikeja, backlog at Mobile. Recovery is ongoing. Slow movement around Agbo Igbala to Oremeji due to diversion at Oremeji outward Lagos section of the expressway. Oshodi inward, Mushin en route Idioro from Idioro turn right into Bishop Street before Moshalashi continue onto Bishop Street en route Mabo Junction. Turn left to link Itire Road and turn left into Ogunlano Drive. Continue on Ogunlano Drive and cross into Adelabu and Masha. From Adelabu, link Eric Moore and connect Brewery Costain onward Echo Bridge. Still on the aftermath of the Third Mainland Bridge closure, Nigerian Water Transport Service operators along the Ikorodu Victoria Island axis of Lagos State say there is an increase in patronage following the closure of Third Mainland Bridge. However, they say there is the need for improvement in the state of current infrastructure of the ferries and boats. On the part of passengers, the water transport system allows them meet up with their daily business and social activities.
Lagos State commercial hub in Nigeria remains the heart of the country. There are over 22 million Lagosians spread across the city as they hustle it out to make ends meet. Traffic and vehicular movement is not an unusual sight. Those commuting to and from Lagos mainland to the island routes are about to change, at least from midnight today to Sunday, the 26th of this month, following necessary structural checks on the Third Mainland Bridge. It's time to take a look at water transport, a popular yet often overlooked means. It's almost midday at this spot, 12 hours to the closure of the Third Mainland Bridge. Passengers buy their tickets before they catch on with their trips. Most here frequent this route to Apapa.
I go often from here to Apapa, almost like every day, apart from Saturday, Sundays. The average from here to Apapa, average of 10 minutes. So I encourage the Lagosians to use the ferry as the bridge will be closed for the main time. It would even help them.
Walking to the ferry, Innocent tells me about his trips to Ikorodu. That's quite a distance going by road.
Even from here to Ikorodu by ferry is about 18 to 22 minutes at max. But going by road, 2 hours, 3 hours, which is not on the better side.
Safety is key, and here are some pointers to catch a ride.
Some people have they have that phobia that I can't go on water. No. But if they are on their life jacket, just as I'm wearing it, it's safe. Even if, God forbid, even if anything happens, whenever they are on their life jackets, they will float on the water. Nothing will happen. They will not sink. Before rescue will come for them, they are safe. In Nimasa, they demand that everybody plying any route should always put down their details on the manifest, should in case anything happens. So they have who to call for whatsoever. From Ikorodu to CMS is 900 naira. From 6:30, the first boat leaves around 6:30. So we go from 6:30 till 9. At least everybody should be at their workplace by 9. Then in the evening from 4 o'clock till 6. Just the Apapa to CMS Apapa, that is 150.
It is expected that normalcy resumes by Monday. Then can commuters who ply the Third Mainland Bridge journey back and forth their regular routes. Reporting for Plus TV Africa, David Alabi.
Thanks, David. Contrary to the claim by President Muhammadu Buhari that he was fighting corruption, the PDP has alleged that the president is surrounding himself with people who have corruption cases. It therefore said that the claim of integrity by the president was questionable. President Buhari had on Thursday said members of the opposition cannot fault the efforts his administration had made in its three major areas of focus, namely security, economy, and the fight against corruption. The main opposition party insisted that the president had failed in the three cardinal promises he made to Nigerians when he was campaigning in 2015. The federal government has inaugurated the reconstructed Maska Earth Dam in Funtua local government area of Katsina State. Minister of Water Resources Sulaiman Adamu, while handing over the completed project executed by the Ecological Funds Office to the people of the community on Thursday, said it will address the decay and degradation of the dam, which provides water for agriculture and other purposes in the community. The Magaji Maska Alhaji Abdullahi Umar, who received the certificate of completion on behalf of the community, prayed to God to bless the present administration for coming to the rescue of the community. The Independent National Electoral Commission has denied claims that it budgeted 6 billion naira to feed policemen during the 2019 elections. According to the electoral body, what it has is a budget head for feeding all election personnel on election days. Making the clarification in a Facebook post on Thursday night, INEC said the estimated budget for security personnel, which includes officers of the Nigerian police force, immigration, prison, amongst others, as well as electoral officers, is actually more than 25% less than what it is being bandied around. The organisation also noted that the budget covers all elections, including by-elections, reruns, runoffs, and court-ordered elections. Police Commissioner Okon Ene has assumed duties as the Commissioner of Police, Benue State Police Command in Makurdi, Middle Belt, Nigeria. The new CP, who resumed duty on Thursday, was a one-time Commissioner of Police in charge of operations in Benue Command and a Fellow of the National Defence College, Abuja. He's a graduate of political science from the University of Ibadan and was enlisted as a Cadet Assistant Superintendent of Police on March the 15th, 1988, as a pioneer set of the Nigeria Police Academy, Wudil, Kano State. The new commissioner, in a statement by the police public relations officer, DSP Moses Yamu, assured the people of the state of the renewed resolve by officers and men of the command to rid the state of all forms of criminality in synergy with other security agencies and cooperation of the general public through rendering credible information to the police. An Ondo State High Court in Akure on Thursday sentenced 7 men to death for armed robbery and killing of a US-based businessman, Banji Adafi. Mr. Adafi, who was said to be on vacation in Nigeria in July last year, when the gunman gained entrance into his home in Akure and killed him. The convicts include Jimoh Sadiq, Blessing Ogunlade, Yomi Balogun, Oluwaseun Oluwalola, Akim Adedayo, Osho John Omoni, and Sadiq Babatunde. They were found guilty of armed robbery, conspiracy to commit murder, and illegal possession of firearms. However, Jimoh Sadiq, who actually shot Mr. Adafin to death, was convicted of murder, contrary to and punishable under the laws of Ondo State of Nigeria. A high court in Gauteng, South Africa, has handed life sentences and an additional 106 years imprisonment to 2 Nigerians for human trafficking. The duo, Frank Amaku and Ilo Promise Somadino, were arrested by the Hawks Serious Organised Crime Investigating Unit in April 2016 at a hideous dwelling where they reportedly ran a brothel and held victims captives. 5 victims were rescued during the operation and taken to a place of safety. Godfrey Lebeya, national head of the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation, applauded the investigation team for working around the clock to ensure that the accused were ultimately convicted and sentenced. Their lawyer, Maleko Ratau, asked that the courts be lenient with the pair as they were relatively young when the said crimes took place in 2016. We'll take a quick break. Stay tuned for more news when we return. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. The Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs has said no fewer than 103 cases of Ebola have been reported in the Democratic Republic of Congo. OCHA said the figures include 76 confirmed and 27 probables, including 61 deaths as at Tuesday this week. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization has confirmed on Friday that a doctor in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo has been hospitalized as a result of being infected with Ebola, and 97 of his contacts have been identified in an area almost entirely surrounded by armed militia. Committee to Protect Journalists, an advocacy group, has condemned Ugandan forces' brutality against journalists covering the ongoing protest in Uganda against detention of Kyadondo East MP Robert Kyagulanyi, commonly known as Bobi Wine. CPJ is demanding that those responsible be held accountable, as well as calling on the Ugandan government to conduct thorough investigations into the matter. Earlier this week, Ugandan security forces beat and detained more than 4 journalists in Kampala, confiscated and damaged some of their equipment. Meanwhile, the Ugandan military has apologized for what it's called the unprofessional conduct of soldiers after a Reuters journalist was beaten and arrested as he covered a protest in the capital Kampala on Monday. The opposition is patiently waiting for the verdict of the Constitutional Court after arguing in the country's top court on Wednesday that the presidential election results be thrown out due to massive doctoring of the vote of the 30th of July. The 9 judges of the highest court in the country adjourned the hearing on Wednesday evening and postponed their decision until Friday afternoon. Opposition Nelson Chamisa's legal argued that President Mnangagwa's vote totals were inflated. Counsel representing Mnangagwa dismissed claims that the opposition had produced any evidence of fraud. South Africa has told the US charge d'affaires of its disappointment over Washington's failure to use diplomatic channels after President Donald Trump angered Pretoria with comments on its land policy. President Trump said in a late-night tweet 2 days ago that he had asked Secretary of State Mike Pompeo to study South African land and farm seizures and the killing of farmers. South Africa accused him of stoking racial divisions and then summoned Washington's charge d'affaires in South Africa, Jesse Lapen. When we return, we'll be bringing you more news updates. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Plus TV on the Hour. On the foreign scene, a string of deadly earthquakes that rocked Indonesia's Lombok Island this summer has killed 555 people and injured nearly 1,500. The disaster agency has reported on Friday, with hundreds of thousands left homeless. The picturesque island next to the holiday hotspot Bali was hit by 2 deadly quakes on the 29th of July and 5th of August. On Sunday, it was shaken by a string of fresh tremors and aftershocks, with the strongest measuring 6.9 magnitude. Indonesia's disaster agency said on Friday most of the deaths occurred in the northern part of Lombok, with several also killed in neighbouring Sumbawa Island. Hurricane Lane weakened to a Category 3 storm on Thursday, but was already lashing Hawaii with high winds and torrential rains, touching off flash floods, landslides and raging surf as residents hunkered down to ride out the storm. With the storm still spinning in the Pacific Ocean about 180 miles southeast of Kailua Kona, more than a foot of rain had already fallen on the eastern side of the Big Island of Hawaii, said Kelly Wooten, a spokeswoman for the Hawaii County Civil Defense Agency. There were no reports of injuries, but at least 14 roads were closed because of flash floods and landslides in the Pacific Island state. The latest predictions showed the eye of the storm twisting west of the Big Island on Friday morning before glancing past Maui and several other islands later in the day on its way to Oahu. But authorities warned that the islands could still expect to be hit hard. A South Korean high court on Friday extended the jail sentence of former President Park Geun-hye by 1 year. In April, a district court had sentenced her to 24 years in jail and fined her 18 billion won on charges bordering on bribery, extortion, abuse of power and other charges. On Friday, the fine was again increased to 20 billion won after reaching a conclusion that the 66-year-old took more money in bribes than initially believed. Former President Park did not appeal against her conviction. She instead has boycotted court proceedings, calling the judicial process politically motivated. Up next is our business reports. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. And in business, the Naira appreciated against the greenback yesterday in the parallel market at 358 Naira per dollar. This was shown by the Association of Bureau de Change Operators. It was a 10 kobo appreciation of the Naira from its previous close on Monday. Also, volume of dollar traded rose by 136% from $71.14 million on Monday to $167.78 million yesterday. However, the Naira depreciated on Thursday to 362 Naira 60 kobo per dollar in the investors and exporters window. Data from FMDQ showed an indicative exchange rate rise from 362 Naira 50 kobo per dollar on Monday to 362 Naira 60 kobo per dollar on Thursday, which was a 10 kobo depreciation of the Naira. A total of 2.01 trillion Naira was granted as loans by the deposit money banks to the manufacturing sector within 1 year, covering July 2017 to June 2018. An analysis of the banking sector credit report of the National Bureau of Statistics has revealed. The report, however, showed that the credit from banks to manufacturers declined by 249 billion Naira from 2.26 trillion Naira recorded the previous year. A further analysis of the report indicated that the credit initially dropped from 2.26 trillion Naira as of the end of the third quarter of 2017 to 2.17 trillion Naira in the fourth quarter of 2017. Between the fourth quarter of 2017 and the first quarter of 2018, the report showed that credit to manufacturers further declined by 100 billion Naira from 2.17 trillion Naira to 2.07 trillion Naira. Still ahead on Plus TV News is our roundup on entertainment and sports news. We'll be back in a moment.
And in entertainment, emotions ran high on Thursday as the remains of late reggae legend Ras Kimono, who died on Sunday, the 10th of June, was brought for lying in state at the headquarters of Copyright Society of Nigeria, COSON, in Ikeja, Lagos. The motorcade conveying Ras Kimono's body arrived at the COSON house at about 9:30 a.m., where a short prayer for the repose of the soul of the departed was offered. Before setting out for his hometown, Asaba, in Delta State, state, Ras Kimono's remains were accompanied by a strong delegation of the Kosan leadership, family members, friends, fans, and other personalities in the Nigerian entertainment industry. From Orit Wilitsky to Alariwo of Africa and Shino Peters, it was a free flow of tears as they filed out to pay their last respects to their departed colleague. Ras Kimono celebrated his 60th birthday amid fanfare in Lagos in the month of May this year. Britain's Got Talent judge Simon Cowell has gotten a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. The music star was accompanied by his girlfriend Lauren Silverman, their sons Adam and Eric. Mel B, Heidi Klum and Howie Mandel were also spotted at the event. Multicolored murals have been set up for Aretha Franklin in London in love and tribute to the singer who passed away on the 16th of August after a prolonged battle with cancer. One of the paintings was done by Jules Muck, popularly known as Muck Rock, in collaboration with Global Street Art. And that's it on entertainment. The best in sports right after this.
Hello and welcome to Sports Update on Plus TV Africa. I am Udoka Njoku. In the local scene, the technical advisor of table toppers Lobby Stars, Solomon Ogbede, has expressed his displeasure with the revised 2017-2018 Nigeria Professional Football League schedule following the proposed resumption of the league from an indefinite suspension. The league was earlier billed to resume on the 18th of August, and the league management company, the LMC, announced an indefinite postponement of the NPFL on 16th of July as a result of the leadership tussle between Amadou Pinnick and Chris Giwa over the control of the Nigeria Football Federation. And reports have it that the NPFL will resume on the 2nd of September and end on the 28th of October, with a congested scheduling that will force each club to play their remaining 14 matches in less than 2 months. And Lobby Stars occupied the top spot on the NPFL log with 43 points from 24 matches, and the technical advisor has said that he wants to maintain that position till the end of the season and emerge as champions of the NPFL. And the Makurdi-based outfit last won the league in 1999 under the tutelage of Ogbede's predecessor, Godwin Uwa. In Formula One, Fernando Alonso revealed that he rejected a move to Red Bull prior to announcing his exit from Formula One at the end of the year. And the Spaniard says he turned down an offer from the former world champions following Daniel Ricciardo's shock decision to quit for Renault. And Red Bull have denied the claim by Fernando Alonso that he was twice offered a drive with them next season before he decided to retire from Formula One at the end of this year. And earlier this week, Red Bull Motorsports boss Helmut Marko said Alonso doesn't fit the team, but admitted to negotiating with him in 2007-2008. But Alonso's demands were very tedious back then. And that's it on Sports Update on Plus TV Africa. I am Udoka Njoku.
Thanks, Udoka. And that's our news roundup of events at this hour. For more news updates, please follow us at Plus TV Africa on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And do subscribe to our YouTube page at Plus TV Africa. We'll be back later with more stories making the headlines. Do join us. I'm Lakbeg Banjo. Have yourself a wonderful afternoon.